Located in West Africa with over 2 million population and 500 different ethnic groups, Nigeria shares land borders with Republic of Benin, Chad, Cameroon, Niger, Guinea and Lake Chad. Colonized by Great Britain, the country got her independence on 1st October 1960, and since then it has experienced a series of both military and democratic rule. The last military regime, led by General Abdulsalami Abubakar, ushered in Olusegun Obasanjo as the democratic elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1999. Nigeria now prides itself in 20 years of uninterrupted democracy. The country, with 4 regions, northern, western, eastern and midwestern regions, as at the time of independence, got divided into 12 states in 1967 under the military regime of late General Yakubu Gowon. Nigeria now boasts of 36 states, a federal capital territory in Abuja, 6 geopolitical zones, and 777 local government areas. The nation is blessed with several natural resources which include gold, limestone, oil and gas, phosphate and salts, uranium, soda ash, cotton, with about 923,768 km square landmass. The country has experienced several threats to national unity since inception, one of which is the Nigeria Civil War as a result of the declaration of the Federal Republic of Biafra by late General Odumegwu Ojukwu. The war, which started on 6 July 1967, ended on 15 January 1970, leaving several Nigerians displaced, wounded, and dead. A major watershed for the country was the oil boom in the early 70s, which led to the establishment of several institutions, parastatals, and unprecedented revenue for the nation, which resulted in underdevelopment of other national sources of revenue. In recent times, kidnapping, insurgency, killings, unemployment and corruption are some of the cankerworms that have eaten deep into the society with clamor for purging. The present administration under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari has demonstrated its commitment towards finding lasting solution to these challenges. 59 years down the line, experts in various sectors speak on the state of the nation.
I have to quote one Ghanaian writer, Ayikoyama, who said, Africa has been cursed with its leaders. Some of these leaders, may God have mercy on them. With all these resources, what is keeping us from being rich in Nigeria is the Constitution of 1999, which has narrowed everything down into this system whereby you cannot have direct access to your natural resources. Everything is in the exclusive list. Everything must go through the federal government. One federal government. In Abuja. And that's why we have chaos in every sector of the country. We have to have creative and imaginative leaders who understand that Nigerian National Constitution is a military constitution. What Aguiyi started and Gowon perfected was a unitary system. But it's understandable under military rulers, that's all they know. So they think this constitution was valid. It's the worst thing that can happen to Nigeria.
Nigeria as a whole has undergone so many hard issues, We have undergone some civil war in the past, and today Nigeria is one. And I would say thank God to democracy, because democracy is what brings everybody together, regardless of brown, yellow, Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. We are one. I would never advocated for Nigeria to split into 3 places, because whenever it's split in 3 places, definitely some people will be at the receiving end and while others will not.
We have regressed in such a way that I can say we have a crisis on our hands. When I was in primary school, my parents' generation, they're the ones that took us into independence. If you have a high school diploma, high school graduation, in those days. You could read and write. If you see their handwriting, you'll be surprised. They quote Shakespeare. They're so well trained. Now, university degree holders cannot even write proper sentences, can hardly write their name. We have problems. And it is all because we have tried to centralize education. So our problem, of course, is multitude. You know, the economy is worse than it's ever been. Insecurity is worse than it's ever been. You know, direct foreign investment is the lowest in years. Our GDP is the lowest in 25 years.
Nigerians appraised the activities of the present administration so far in salvaging the present situation of the country.
When you see a gold, when you say this is a beautiful gold, that gold has passed so many stages. They've eaten it, they've burned it, they've washed it with hot water, they wash it with the sand. So Nigeria is passing through this process. It will not be like this forever.
I think there is improvement in governance because the security aspects, I think the present administration under the leadership of General Muhammadu Buhari has improved tremendously. When you go around most of the federal roads, the infrastructure is being improved upon. There are so many things that have been put in place, so to say, that if Nigeria started some of these things long before now, I think our country would have been in a better place.
As we celebrate Nigeria at 59, the general opinion is a call for sober reflection from government functionaries that would lead to the desired change in the country.
We have seen that we have failed over the years, one administration after the other. What is responsible? What I think responsible is the centralization of government. It cannot work. Therefore, for us to make progress, we must decentralize government, we must devolve power to the states, and we must diversify our economy so that each area, each state can use its own given resources. There are more resources, mineral resources in the north than in the south. It's abundant everywhere in Nigeria. If we can use those resources, that is the message, both to lawmakers as well as to the people. This restructuring is not just theory. It is the way out to develop Nigeria. Security, people will trust each other more. Imagine if we have state police, as we had in the First Republic before independence. Each state will be able to control its own security. As it is now, you cannot send federal government police to police a state when the laws of the state, it happened in Benin with Governor Autumn. The state assembly made the law. No open grazing. Federal government sent people, but then they couldn't enforce the law. They had to wait for federal police. When federal police came, federal police said you cannot insist on open grazing, no open grazing. Let them graze. That is the conflict that we continue to have, and the insecurity will continue to have, and the poverty will continue to have if we do not decentralize. Popular name for it is restructuring.
Nigeria is 59. It might be slow, but we are getting there.